Alrighty, back here on the hilltop as we head to the bottom of the sixth inning. It'll be 9-1-2 coming up for the Breds against the pitcher Mason Edkins, who has pitched very well so far, giving up just a couple of base runners. Grubb at the plate, a fly ball out to center his first time up. This time he'll smack one back to the press box for strike one. Grubb, who began the game at first and has since moved to the mound, will now step back into the batter's box, as the lights have taken full effect here on the hilltop now. Adkins is 0-1, is outside and low. Ball and a strike to count to Grubb. Adkins has only gone to a 3-ball count on a batter 3 times in the game. Induced McIlvain to ground out to short on one of those times. His next pitch is bounced up there for ball 2. Corey Vaughn flew out to left. He also got Lucas Harrington on a strikeout after Harrington had fouled off a 2-strike pitch. The 2-1 from Edkins to the plate is going to be at the knees for a strike, evening up the count at 2-2. Although we are here in the 6th inning, that was only the 57th pitch thrown by Adkins. Very efficient. Nods and affirmation of the signs flashed to him by Bosley. And the break even is a check swing. They'll not appeal as the count goes full at 3-2. Marking only the 3rd time in the ball game that Adkins has gone to a 3-2 count on a Breds batter. This time the payoff pitch to the plate is going to be a little hopper back to the mound on a couple hops. Adkins has it, throws to first, and Grubb is retired. That is now 8 thoroughbreds in succession that Adkins has retired. We head back to the top of the order, and Elijah Harris.
Now batting number 5, Elijah Harris.
Harris, a ground ball out to third. He's also picked up the only base hit in the game for Harrison County. That coming back in the 3rd. Takes a wander down the 3rd baseline a little bit before coming back, and now is in the batter's box with 1 out and nobody on, and his team trailing 9-0 here in the bottom of the 6th. First pitch is just a bit outside for ball 1. The catcher Bosley trying to frame it unsuccessfully. I'll remind everyone that the concession stand is open, so if you're hungry, go get something to eat. The 1-0 to the plate is a pop fly into right field. Kottkamp is coming in on it and will make the play for out number 2. So with 2 down and nobody on, Cliffy McIlvain will return to the plate. McIlvain began the game at short, has since moved to 3rd. A couple of ground outs. Back in the 1st, he grounded out to 2nd. In the 3rd, grounded out to shortstop. Stands in there now and awaits the first delivery to him from Adkins. Right-hander wheels and fires the first pitch, which is right on, just outside for ball 1.
Nice pitch.
McIlvain adjusts the helmet before stepping back into the box. Chokes up on the bat handle about an inch. And Adkins' 1-0 is going to be sliced foul, now to play to the right side. Evening up the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. As we said, Scott and Dixie will play next. Tomorrow at 5:30, Harrison County will play Scott, rain permitting. Adkins 1-1 is going to stay up high. 2 balls and a strike to count. McIlvain checks down to Coach Whitaker before stepping back into the batter's box and is going to be crowding it somewhat. As Adkins fires the 2-1, it's up high and outside. 3 balls and a strike. Count to McIlvain. Adkins has not walked a batter in the game, although he did hit Corey Vaughn leading off the 2nd inning. Winds and fires the 3-1 to the plate. It's up high, ball 4. So the first walk surrendered by Adkins allows Harrison County's 6th inning to continue as McIlvain heads on down to first. For Cliffy, that is the first time he's walked this season.
Now batting number 30, Gunnar Cole.
Gunnar Cole to the plate now with a runner on first and 2 out. He's had a couple of ground outs in the game. Ground out to second in the first and to third in the fourth. Over at first base, Garacci will hold the runner McIlvain on despite the 9-0 lead. First pitch to Gunnar is going to be fouled off for a strike. See, McIlvain has not stolen a base this year, which doesn't mean he can't take off now. Pretty good size lead at first base. Don't get picked off. Here's a tip foul into the mitt of Bosley by Cole, which puts Gunnar in the hole 0-2. Cole came into the game batting an even .400. That'll drop. As Adkins goes into the stretch, the pitch outside. Try to get Gunnar to chase a bad one, but Cole hanging off of it. Count goes to 1-2. 2 outs, 1 on for the Breds. They trail 9-0 here in the bottom of the 6th. To Dixie Heights in the first game of the Harris Memorial Hospital Breds Baseball Invitational. Here's a throw to first, but not in time. Excellent crowd on hand for tonight's game. Disappointing results, but still good to see all these people here to watch and support Breds baseball. Next pitch is outside and low, evening up the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Gunnar trying to keep this inning going. Wheels the bat around as McIlvain takes his lead at first. And the break even is sliced foul and out of play. So the count will remain 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Hey, come on, right here, Mason.
Adkins not struggling, but maybe showing the effects of this being the first time he's thrown in a varsity game this year. So he's thrown more pitches this inning than ever. Next pitch is way outside, and that'll load up the count at 3-2. All right, Gunnar. Make sure we find a good one here. Out in left field, Tyler Winkle at the base of the bank. Check of the runner by Adkins. And the payoff is going to be sliced into right field, coming on hard, diving, but unable to make the grab as the right fielder Kottkamp going on over to third base, and stopping there will be McIlvain, but a 2-out base hit by Gunnar Cole puts runners on the corners. Only the second base hit picked up by the Breds in the ball game. That'll bring Corey Vaughn back to the plate. Or at least Corey was scheduled to come up. And it will be, as that'll take Craycraft down. He had come in for Corey. Vaughn was hit by a pitch back in the second. He's also had a fly ball out to left field. Now a chance to get that goose egg off the scoreboard.
Now batting number 44, Corey Vaughn.
Vaughn looks down to Coach Whitaker before Coach says they're still doing their paperwork. Now we got that done. So 2 outs, runners on the corners. And Vaughn at the plate. Vaughn came into the game batting a team-leading .429, but he's 0 for 1 here in this ball game. Here's a bouncer past the third baseman and into left for a base hit. Scoring from third base will be McIlvain as Harrison County is finally on the scoreboard and now trailed 9-1. For Vaughn, his 4th RBI of the season. Good piece of hitting that time as the ball slid underneath the third baseman's glove.
Cameron White.
Cameron White will now come to the plate, batting for Nichols. He went in for Nichols defensively in the last half inning, now batting for him here in the 6th. So, let's see. Make myself some notes here. Runners take their leads. Cole from second, Vaughn from first. This next pitch is delivered outside. 2 balls and no strikes to count now to Cameron White, who on the season is batting .267. Does have a double and 3 RBIs to his credit this year. The next pitch is popped up foul and out of play behind us. This count goes to 2 balls and a strike. 9-1 is your score. Harrison County lost to Henderson County earlier this week, 9-2. Like to see at least another run come across the plate here in the 6th. The 2-1 is swung on and missed. Adkins showing that he still has a little oomph in that fastball here in the 6th inning. White stands in there once again. Cameron, a junior. Check of the runners by Adkins, and the break even is down low, ball 3.
Hey, right here, Dan. You're all right.
Well, let's see, 6, 7, 8, 13, and 7 is 21. Adkins has thrown 26 pitches in this inning and had never thrown more than 14 in any other inning before this one. But still, the Breds have netted just 1 run against him. White awaits the payoff pitch. Adkins gets the sign from Bosley. And the 3-2 delivery is a little pop into center field. Hirth is there and will grab it for out number 3. But a run does come across the plate in the inning. It came by way of a couple of base hits. There were no errors and 2 left. So as we head now to the top half of the 7th inning, your score, Dixie Heights 9 and Harrison County 1. You're listening to Breds Baseball on WCYN Sports. Alrighty, back here at the Hilltop. Reds are able to scratch across a run in the bottom half of the 6th inning to get themselves on the scoreboard through 6. Dixie Heights, 9 runs on 7 hits, no errors. They've left 5 runners stranded. For Harrison County, a run on 3 hits. They've committed the game's only error and left 4 runners aboard. Back on the mound now for his 3rd inning of work and relief will be Braxton Grubb. Here in this inning, he'll be facing, scheduled anyway, Kieran Garachi, Micaiah Sturdivant, and Wyatt Hirth. Garachi's been on base all 3 times. A couple of doubles. He's also reached on an error, driven in a run, and scored a couple. He's also stolen a base. First pitch to him now is going to be bounced up there for ball 1. Garachi was the first batter that Braxton Grubb faced back in the 5th inning when he reached on that error and eventually came around to scoring a wild pitch. Next delivery is pop foul and out of play behind us. This count goes to 1-1 on the first baseman. Well, barring a miracle comeback, Dixie will improve to 2-2 on the season, while the Breds will drop to 4-2 if the score remains as it is. It's going to be an up and down year, folks, with this young of a team. The 1-1 is a bouncer to the left side, gloved by Brian Vaughn. His throw to first is in time. Nice throw. Good hard throw to first, right on the line. So 1 up and 1 down. We'll bring a pinch hitter to the plate. And that's number 22, I think, who also pinch ran, Brandon Brooks. So Brandon Brooks batting for Micaiah Sturdivant. So we'll put Brandon in here. Brandon Brooks. in the 7th. So Brooks on the year, 0 for 4. First pitch to him is going to be taken down low and outside for ball 1. Brandon Brooks, a junior. Grubb gets the sign from Muth. And the pitch to the plate is right at the letters for a strike, evening up the count at 1-1. Well, no wind at all after having some breeze early in the game. American flag hanging nearly limp right now. Next pitch is on the outside part of the plate as the count goes to 1-2. 1 out, nobody on here in the top of the 7th for Dixie. Grubb's next pitch is tip foul, in and out of the glove of Muth. Actually, it was not tip foul, it was just dropped by Muth. He'll throw on to first base to complete the strikeout. There's another Killian Speech's strikeout delivered by the Brads. They'll bring another pinch hitter to the plate as Noah Jefferson will bat. So pencil
Number 18,
Noah Jefferson. So here in the 7th, batting for Hurth. Jefferson is 0 for 4 this season as well. First pitch is popped up foul and just barely out of play. For strike 1 as Braxton Grubb has quietly retired the last 6 in a row. It's a positive he can take away from this game. Braves once again scheduled to play tomorrow at 5:30 against Scott High School, who will play Dixie after this game here. Next pitch is outside. 1-1 the count to Jefferson. Hurth was 1 for 3 in his 3 plate appearances. Next pitch to the plate is outside. 2-1 the count. Grubb trying to retire the side in order for the 2nd inning in a row. Wheels and delivers the next pitch. Just a bit outside, ball 3. 3-1 the count to Jefferson, who has walked once this year. The wind and the 3-1 is swung on and missed for strike 2. Pitch that appeared to be out of the strike zone, but Jefferson went chasing after it anyway. Runs the count full with 2 outs and nobody on. Grubb working quickly. The payoff to the plate is swung on and missed for strike 3. Another Killian Speech's strikeout allows Grubb to retire the side in order for the 2nd inning in a row. So as we head to the bottom of the 7th, your score remains Dixie Heights 9 and Harrison County 1. You're listening to Braves Baseball on WCYN Sports. Alrighty, back here on the hilltop, the Reds have 3 outs to make up 8 runs as they trail 9-1 going into the bottom of the 7th. We'll probably have several pinch hitters coming up for the Reds in this inning.
33, Jay-Sean Lewis.
Jay-Sean Lewis being the first one, batting for Smiley, so we'll pencil Jay-Sean in here. Jay-Sean had a base hit. He had something nice go on the other night up at Henderson. Yeah, had a solid single on the first pitch he saw. So Jay-Sean at the plate, swings and misses at the first delivery for strike 1. See, Lewis on the year is 2 out of 7 It's a .286 batting average, tied for the team lead in RBIs with 4, and has a triple. But swings and misses at the next delivery. This count goes to 0-2. We invite you to join us for our post-game show following the game. Go over all the scoring and stats and talk with a member of the Harrison coaching staff, as well as name our Judy Construction Company player of the game. There's a slice foul to the left side, so Jay Sean stays alive at 0-2. Brett's trying to edge back into this game somehow, some way. As Adkins tries to pick up the complete game, as the next pitch is down low. 1-2. That was just the 85th pitch thrown by the starter and possibly complete game pitcher for Dixie. The 1-2 is a little looper down the left side and will hit foul by about 3 feet. So a couple of 2-strike foul balls by Jay Sean. Keep him alive in this plate appearance. Jay Sean Lewis, a freshman, one of that great freshman class that have played together with multiple sports over the years. Now getting to show what they can do at the varsity level baseball-wise. The 1-2 once again to Lewis is outside. Evens things up at 2-2. I know that Coach Maxwell would love for Adkins to complete this game, but if he's up by 8 runs. He can struggle as much as he wants. Break-even pitch is fouled off. So 3 2-strike foul balls by Lewis. Count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. Wheeling the bat around, the left-handed batting Lewis. The wind and delivery is pop foul and out of play. Yet another 2-strike foul ball. Makes 4 2-strike foul balls by Jay Sean, who is battling Adkins. He's trying to figure out a way to get the pitch around the freshman's bat. But Jay Sean not letting it happen. The 2-2 once again is a chopper to the left side. Shortstop Flynn has it. His throw to first base. Pulls the first baseman off the bag for an error. First error of the ball game committed by the Dixie defense. So Jay Sean, by virtue of those 4 2-strike foul balls, able to get himself on base. Bodie Muth will now come to the plate. He came in defensively for Harrington a couple of innings ago, and now will get a chance to bat for himself. Over at first, Lewis being held on by Garachi. Atkins takes a look at him. His first pitch to Bodie's down low for ball 1. Let's see, Muth on the season is 0 for 1, but does have an RBI. Next pitch is swung on and missed. This count goes even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Adkins toes the rubber. Takes a peek into Bosley's side before looking over at Lewis at first. And the 1-1 to Muth is fouled off. So the count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Well, hopefully everybody will stick around and watch Scott take on Dixie in the next game. Be a little bit of a late start, but that's all right. All right, Muth stands in there and choking up on the bat handle a couple inches with a 1-2 count on him. And the delivery is outside and low, evening up the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. As Adkins toes the rubber. Lewis taking his lead at first base after reaching on that error to lead off the inning. And the pitch is going to be sliced down the right field line, but foul. So just like his predecessor, Muth fouling off a 2-strike pitch. Maybe he'll be as successful as Jay Sean was and get on base. Reds, though, still trail 9-1. Adkins takes a glance over at first And the 2-2 pitch is sliced down the right field line. Fall down, baseball. It's in there for a base hit, and we'll go all the way to the fence. Bodie heading out into second base, standing with a double as Lewis moves to third. Good piece of hitting that time by Muth. And then it got past the right fielder, but we'll give Bodie a double all the way. Connor Kilpla will now come to the plate, as we'll also have a courtesy runner go on down to second base. And that is Titan Maston. So Titan Maston at second, running for Muth, with Connor Kilpla at the plate.
Now running for the Reds, number 20, Titan Maston.
So Connor on the season is 0 for 0, but has walked a couple of times. First pitch to him here is outside for a ball, as Adkins is starting to struggle a bit. 15, 16. He's up to 97 pitches. This will be the 98th pitch of the game for Adkins. To Kilpala, swing and a miss, as the count evens up at 1-1. With an 8-run lead, the defense for Dixie back at their normal positions. They'll allow any runs to score. Next pitch is outside and high. So the next pitch will be number 100 in the game for Adkins, who was rocking right along up until last inning when he threw 28 pitches. And the pitch is down low for a ball. 3-1 now the count to Kilpala. Connor stand back in there now and see what he can do with this 3-1 offering from Adkins. As Lewis and Titan Maston take their leads, here's a pitch that's on the inside part for strike 2. Maston running for Muth down at second. A base hit as deep as the outfielders are playing should score 2. Right now the Breds trail 9-1. And the payoff pitch is up high, ball 4. So the first 3 Thoroughbreds have reached here in the bottom half of the 7th inning. And now time called as Coach Maxwell will head to the mound to have a little talk with his pitcher, who seems to be struggling. Braxton Grubb will be at the plate. He's 0 for 2 with a fly ball out to center and a bouncer to the mound. As I said, Maxwell hoping to get Adkins a complete game, but I think that Mason is about out of gas, as we'll have a new pitcher coming in for Dixie. It'll be Zachary Haggis. So while Zachary Haggis takes his warm-up tosses, your situation is this: we are in the bottom half of the 7th inning. Harrison County, yes, they do trail 9-1, but there's nobody out and the bases are loaded. You're listening to Breds Baseball on WCYN Sports. All righty, back here at the Hilltop, Harrison County stirring up some trouble as they've gotten the bases loaded with nobody out. And a new pitcher in the ball game will be Zachary Haggis. Haggis making his 2nd appearance of the season. His other one was a start, in which he went 4 innings, gave up just 1 hit but walked 5, struck out 7 but gave up just 1 run. has an ERA of 1.75. Haggis listed at 6'3", a senior. Also, Benton Bramall has come on to run at first base for Connor Kilpala. So Lewis at third, he reached on error. Titan Maston running for Bodie Muth at second. Bodie had a double down the right field line. And now Bramall running for Kilpala at first. Connor walked. Brief meeting between the battery, between the mound and home before the catcher Ethan Bosley goes back behind the plate.
Now batting, number 9, Braxton Grubb.
Grubb 0 for 2, as we said, a fly ball out to center and a grounder back to the mound. But ducks on the pond here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Stands in there hoping to get a big base hit. Braxton on the season has, get to that point after this first pitch, which is on the inside corner for a strike. Grubb on the year does have 3 RBIs. Stretched by the new pitcher Haggis. And the delivery to the plate, swing and a miss. Pops out of the mitt of the catcher Bosley, but he keeps it enough in front of him to keep the runners at bay. But the count does go to 0-2 on Grubb. After Braxton, will go back to the top of the order. And Elijah Harris. Next pitch from Haggis is tip foul into the mitt of Bosley for strike 3. So it's 1 down and those bases still loaded. We'll go back to the top of the order and Elijah Harris. Harris singled back in the third. He's also had a ground ball out to third base and a fly ball out to right. Now trying to drive in some runs. Harris on the year has 1 RBI. First pitch is outside and low for ball 1. Elijah, very disciplined hitter at the plate. He's not going to swing at a bad one. Now waits the next delivery from Haggis. And it's slammed down the right field line, but foul and out of play. Evens up the count at 1-1. Scott waiting in the wings, Scott High School. So they'll take on Dixie next. Reds will take on Scott tomorrow at 5:30. Next pitch bounces up there, but another nice stop by Bosley. This count goes 2-1. Bosley wants to have a little chat with his pitcher, Zachary Haggis, who's not quite doing what I'm sure that Bosley would like. He has a smile on his face as he comes back behind the plate. And now Elijah is ready to go. Runners take their leads. Lewis at third, Maston at second, and Bramall at first. And the 1-1 bounces up there again, but another nice stop by Bosley. This count goes to 3 balls and a strike. So 3-1 the count on Elijah Harris. Number 5 awaits the pitch. And it's going to be inside ball 4, and that will bring home Jay-Sean Lewis from third. So a bases loaded walk to Elijah Harris makes it 9-2. So give Elijah his 2nd RBI of the season. So the base is still packed for Cliffy McIlvain, who walked his last time up and scored. Prior to that, he had a ground ball out to second and a ground ball out to shortstop. McIlvain on the season, just 1 RBI. Haggis, Zachary Haggis on the mound in relief for the starter Mason Adkins, who went the first 7+ innings. Here's a chopper in front of the plate. This is going to be a hard play for anybody. Sliding home safely is Titan Maston. Nice job by Titan as he raced down the third base line and just barely beat the flip throw from the pitcher Haggis to the plate. So an RBI fielder's choice by McIlvain gets Harrison County back to within 6 at 9-3. And the bases are still loaded for Gunnar Cole. So fielder's choice, RBI there. All right. Gunnar is singled his last time up. He's also had ground ball outs to second and third as the first pitch is delivered down low for ball one. That single he had into right field his last time up. Runners take their leads as Hagis's next pitch is down low and outside for ball two. Bramble running for Kilpala at third base. Elijah Harris is down at second, and Cliffy McElvain is at first. The 2-0 to the plate is tip foul into the mid of Bosley for a strike. Cole is pulling out on that one. Taps the plate with his bat, does Gunner. Wheels the bat around. And the 2-1 is swung on and missed as Gunner just about corkscrewed himself into the batter's box. And now finds himself facing a 2-2 count. Taps the plate with his bat. Haggis gets the sign from Bosley. And the break even is sliced foul and out of play. So 2-strike foul ball by Cole keeps him alive in this plate appearance. Come on, Gunner. Let's get one down the line. Left fielder Tyler Winkle right at the base of the bank. The 2-2 once again is tip foul into the mitt of Bosley for strike three. So the Brez now down to their last out as Corey Vaughn will come to the plate. Corey had an RBI single his last time up. He's also gotten on base when he was hit by a pitch and a fly ball out to left. So over the last 2 games, Corey has gotten on base 6 out of 7 times. Now trying to get a base hit here and drive in some more runs. First pitch to him is up high for a ball. The Breds trail 9-3, but have the bases loaded with 2 outs. Scoring a single run in the 6th and 2 more here in the 7th. The 1-0 is a little short roller to the left side. The third baseman Wilson fires to first base to retire Vaughn and end the game. Harrison County loses by a final score of 9-3 to the visitors from the north, the Colonels of Dixie Heights. Breds gave up 9 runs through the first 5 innings and made a little noise in the last couple, but in the end dropped to 4-2 overall on the year, while the Colonels improved to 2 wins and 2 losses. We invite you to stay tuned now for our post-game show brought to you by Dustin Rose at Farm Bureau. We'll talk to the coach, go over the stats, and also name our Jitty Construction Company player of the game. All that coming up after this timeout. But once again, your final score in game number 1 of the Harris Memorial Hospital Invitational, Dixie Heights 9 and Harrison County 3. You've been listening to Breds Baseball on WCYN Sports. Alrighty, back here at the Hilltop, Harrison County falls by a final score of 9-3. I don't want to put 4 there, but it was one of those games where it just seemed like at the first part of the contest, Dixie could do no wrong and Harrison County could do no right, as the Colonel scored in each of the first 5 innings to take, at that time, what was a 9-1 lead. Now the Breds did make a little noise in the last inning, got the bases loaded, scored a couple of runs, but in the end, just too many runs to make up in a short amount of time. Breds now drop to 4-2 on the year, while Dixie improves to 2-2 on the early season. Taking a look at the final numbers for Dixie, they had 9 runs on 7 base hits. They commit 1 error and leave 5 runners stranded. Meanwhile, for the Thoroughbreds, 3 runs on 4 hits. They also commit 1 error and leave 7 runners aboard. Individually, for the Thoroughbreds, Elijah Harris, another pretty good game, 1 for 3 with a walk. He also drove in a run. Cliffy McIlvain went 0 for 3 officially, but drove in a run with a fielder's choice. He also walked and scored a run. Gunnar Cole was 1 for 4. Corey Vaughn, 1 for 3 with RBI. He was also hit by a pitch. Austin Nichols was 0 for 2, and Cameron White was 0 for 1. Mason Smiley 0 for 2. Jay Sean Lewis was 0 for 1, reached on an error and scored a run. Also had a very quality at bat as he fouled off 4 2-strike pitches before reaching on that error. Lucas Harrington 0 for 2. Bodie Muth got a double in his lone plate appearance, and later Titan Maston running for him came in to score. Benton Bramble 0 for 2. Connor Kilpla walked in his lone plate appearance, and Braxton Grubb was 0 for 3 in today's ball game. Meanwhile, pitching-wise, not a lot to write home about. Corey Vaughn started out the game and went the first 3 2/3 innings, ended up giving up 7 runs, all 7 of which were earned. He also walked 5 batters, and in the game,